So now we approach the platforming segment of our adventure game, and no, that doesn't make any sense.
Doop, 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 doop,
It could be tough to like, but I agreed with it most of the time. So, we were assholes together.
So, and in stark contrast to Mass Effect, this allows you to express opinion
Now with Kenny gone.
about Kenny. I mean, we've been doing that the whole time. I just wanted to point that out specifically right there.
Well, I think it's interesting if you're going to compare it to Mass Effect, and I know everyone is sick of us doing that, but here a beloved character dies, and we actually spend time sort of ruminating on it and feeling bad about it. Whereas, like, Morden kills himself, and it's like, that dude wanted to die, I don't know what's wrong with him, let's go on an adventure!
What's nothing?
Yeah, this game isn't afraid to go ahead and have...
Be careful across here.
Dialogue, I mean, because it's got so much dialogue. I mean, that's the strength of this game, is that they're okay with long sequences of dialogue with no shooting. And that's something that I think a lot more games need to be comfortable with. Is, oh my goodness, it's been 3 minutes since you shot somebody, we gotta throw something in here, a turret section.
Well, this game does that because it manages to replace awesome shooting sections with a lot of emotional depth and emotional tension, and Mass Effect never succeeded in doing that.
Right. And to be fair, that is a lot harder to write and a lot harder to do.
Yeah.
So it's easy to fall back on hey, let's just shoot stuff. I mean, that's basically what.
Yeah.
What
I mean,
Far
that's not
Cry
a problem
3
that.
did.
It's fine.
Yeah, that's not a problem that Mass Effect has. That's a problem that just about all games have. Except
That hole right there, by the way, is where Kenny dies if Ben was dead in Episode 4. You drop the walkie-talkie in there, Krista goes and gets it, and then those zombies are not there when you drop the walkie-talkie in, and then those zombies come out and attack you, or attack her, and Kenny goes down and helps her up and then gets eaten.
Marshall's Hotel is around the corner of the block.
To be fair, it would be pretty ironic if, like, the moment... If Kenny survives otherwise, and the moment where Kenny finally comes to terms with Ben's fucking things over, is in fact where Ben fucks him over.
McCabe imports. You know what's interesting? That intersection down there is the one where you came out to the...
I was
with
just
Kenny
about
a few
to
days
point
ago.
that out. I noticed that when we were playing through Episode 4 for this. I was like, hey, wait a minute, that's that sign.
So Savannah's pretty small. It's what, 6 blocks? I didn't realize Savannah was that small.
It's about like 3 sound stages.
I tease. It's fine.
So you're letting them go first?
This choice makes no difference whatsoever. If you go first,
Oh,
the
in
sign
stark
breaks and they don't
contrast.
follow.
I didn't doubt it.
In stark contrast to the other choices.
I think that this conversation is the only difference.
We're running out of time to talk about false choices, and I figured now would be a good time to point out really what I feel about the game, which is the false choices are probably terribly false, but what makes them work, I think, is that it feels like working with a really good Dungeons & Dragons DM, where you're working with the guy to sort of push the story in his direction even though you're making the choices, and it never feels wildly unnatural.
Hey, look, more stuff breaking at during the zombie apocalypse.
Okay, I'm not sure they built the sign to resist tightrope acts.
Really? I mean, considering this is on the coast, that thing would need to be able to withstand quite a bit of wind stress.
I'm going for it.
It should not fall over because
It means I'm already bitten.
less
I just
than
have to push my way
200-pound
through.
woman climbs
What the
across.
fuck?
Even if a 250-pound man was hanging off of that thing,
Yeah.
that is not
Let's meet
stress
outside of
that
town,
should be
by the train.
unknown
Are you
to
nuts?
something like that.
It's the only way.
Find
Yeah.
a boat,
Do you hear me?
we'll meet you out of town.
Champion Kenny's ghost play.
I can't think of a more concise way to say fuck you guys. Find a boat.
Find some
boat.
cancer survivors after you find this boat and tell them that you found the boat.
Find
That's
a
how I
boat
would tell people
that's
to go
filled
fuck
with
themselves.
food and ammunition and maybe hot women.
Find the army.
Find the Ark of the Covenant, and then open it exactly when I'm not looking.
So this is one of those situations where having your hand still attached does make a difference. You pick up a piece of glass.
Yes, a sharp piece of glass. Oh, fuck!
Yeah.
Fuck!
That's actually kind of badass.
Yeah, it is. This was a pretty tense scene. I dug it.
Tense, or not really tense, but like kind of a last hurrah.
Exactly.
It's cathartic.
So far, you haven't
Gets
used that
to be
piece of
badass
broken glass
one more time.
once.
And it has
A
the
broke-
cool music.
Piece of broken glass isn't even a good zombie fighting weapon.
No,
Neither is anything else here.
You haven't used it at all.
We used it like on the first zombie.
Did
Then you realize what a horrible idea
Yeah.
that was, and that it would just shatter.
I made a mistake.
I really wish I hadn't done that. Oh, the Griswolds are here.
Hey,
Wow.
that car looks familiar, doesn't
I'm
it?
sure all the kids are gonna get that reference, James.
Shut up, Brutskarn, I'm not old.
I actually never noticed that that was the car from the stealing.
The annoying thing is, I noticed it and I immediately recognized it from episode 2, but then I forgot about it by the time I got up here.
Yes. Okay, so now
recognize
we're going to meet the man. This was a tense scene. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, what am I gonna find? What messed up, sick trap am I walking into? And you have to, because you gotta save Clem.
And this is the climax of the game, the final boss fight, or it would be with other games, and it's just this really quiet scene. There's no
music.
no music, almost no sound at all.
What strikes me about this is that it's simultaneously really twisted and really pedestrian at the same time, and that's what really makes it
Yes.
disturbing to me.
This is something that could happen in the real world. And it's pretty common, it's not a giant battle. Oh shit, it's Steve Buscemi. We are screwed.
It's Ninja.
Where is she?
Well, I mean, it's totally regular in the sense that it's a guy that feels wronged by you. It's a bad guy in the sense that he is jealous of what you have with Clementine. But what makes it also othernatural or supernatural is the whole wife angle of this, the whole family thing, and he's clearly actually psychotic. This isn't just jealousy. Like if it was just raw jealousy, that would be kind of pedestrian.
Quiet,
this
please,
is like
sweetie.
psychotic insanity
Your thing.
amplified by
There.
his little fetish thing bag.
Fetish thing bag.
He would
This is all I've got,
probably have shot me
okay?
for using those words.
You travel light. I don't believe you.
That's everything. Go ahead and search me.
No, I'm not touching you. Just sit down.
You're gonna lie? Really?
Yeah.
I lied. I figured I
Dude
could
has
get away
a
with it.
gun.
I actually gave up my weapons, and I'm not even sure why, but it felt like the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did
You know
too.
why? Because it felt like the more
Front then.
interesting thing to do. It
You
felt
see
like the
anything
thing that
else
would
you
happen
want?
in a movie.
Not a whole lot left.
You wanted to raise
Let
the
it
stake.
take from you.
Yeah,
Your
and which is a
people
stupid, ridiculous
didn't agree with
metagame
it.
way of thinking
That's
about
what
something.
Clementine
I'll
said.
do the more dangerous thing because that's more epic and interesting. But I did it.
You
So
were
I don't know.
coming back.
So I'm going to try to provoke him here and see what happens.
said we did
Not
come back.
initially, but
What do you want me to say?
But I've always been very like repentant and very clear-minded about the culpability of Lee and his group in this, and I want to see what happens when I try to turn it on him.
You know, he kind of looks a little bit like Nicolas Cage.
Yes.
And actually, in the Walking Dead movie, Nicolas Cage would be a pretty great actor to play this guy.
I can say that I hurt Lily.
My wife.
Why did anyone pick that?
I hurt her a long time ago.
How?
In a lot of ways.
This also felt like the natural thing to talk about.
She traveled
because it reflects his tragedy, and because we haven't talked about this with anyone else.
And it was a defining character trait for Lee at the beginning. Like, this was kind of the whole premise of the original story, was that Lee killed a state senator that was sleeping with his wife. And we kind of just discarded that after episode 3.
How much pain she felt. How about you?
Wow, I didn't even know that Lee revealed this. I'm not commenting because this is amazing to me, that he tells how he became a murderer.
I took him out hunting even though my wife said he was too young.
What did you pick for that?
I also like how this is the moment where you realize he's self-absorbed.
I came back without
is where there's that point in the conversation where, without even a segue, he instantly talks about how he feels instead of what he just heard you say.
We never found him.
Well, Lee did ask whether he'd hurt her, or he'd hurt someone.
And then we came back.
Yeah, but it was an awkward transition.
Our stuff was gone. Your people, Lee. That asshole in the ball cap. His stupid fucking wife.
Well, they're all dead now, so I mean,
trust back
on the balance.
Situation so desperate.
This is such good dialogue, though. I mean, this is fantastic.
She blamed me.
Yeah, it is.
Until she finally took our daughter Elizabeth and left.
Like, it's hard for me to comment on it because this is a tense scene, and this guy has. I mean, you can understand why he's as screwed up as he is. He's been through a lot. Yeah. So a lot of pieces are falling into place. You're understanding how this person came to be so broken. And it's slowly pulling back the curtain on this guy as you find out, wow, just how actually broken he is, because it gets worse.
Right in front of a little girl.
And you can tell that he, just from the way this dialogue flows, you can tell he's trying to work out something. And this is not as nearly as railroady as I thought this conversation was. This does branch quite a bit. There are things that are said in one branch and another.
City where she could have died.
All of this is different than what I saw.
And you can be totally, you can defend yourself, or you can just go like, I fucked up.
How could you know all this?
I don't think it's able to play through without making any decisions you won't get angry at.
I'm sure it isn't, otherwise this scene wouldn't work. But the thing is, it works because he's so screwed up that he is angry at you. You're the only one left, and so he's trying to justify his anger at you. So, like Josh said, you can just throw it all back in his face, or you can accept it. You have things you feel bad about. He has things he's angry about. They don't even have to line up. You're a couple of really messed up people trying to deal with this.
I wasn't even mad at you.
There it is. He's like, think of everything else you did. He's trying to justify all his hate and anger because he's trying to work himself up to where he can kill you.
Lee, listen to me. I need you to hear this before what happens next.
And so he's trying to convict you in his own mind. That is just such a brilliant exchange between these two.
And I love that he goes back to trying to reason this, trying to get Lee to accept that
her birthday was 6 days ago.
That Clementine will be better with him, as if he almost needs Lee's approval.
she wouldn't be exposed to what she has been with you.
No, shut up.
It makes sense.
It's not happening.
Oh, shut up. Okay, that's a bit of weak dialogue there. I gotta admit, that's probably not the strongest line ever written. No,
Hey,
shut
honey.
up.
I think
And this is where it gets really, really freaky.
I'm glad too.
I never actually put that together. That like what's in
It's
the
all
head,
over,
in the
huh?
bag.
Isn't it?
You didn't?
Is that bag
No.
in the is that bag in the station wagon? That would be an interesting thing to see.
Honey. I
If
miss
that
you
bag
so
is one of the
much.
things she
It-
left
it
behind
can't
in the
be.
You're gonna
station
like
wagon.
Clementine a lot, though.
It
She's
can't
not
be
Lizzie,
because
but
she's
she's
alive
sweet.
at that point, according to his story.
Wouldn't hurt a fly.
Right, oh no, not a bag with a head in it, but just that bag. Like, is that bag one of the things that, like, somebody threw on the ground after they took the stuff out of it?
You spent
I
a lot of
screwed that
oh
up somehow.
fuck.
Hey, honey.
Yeah, don't
Yeah,
do
you
that.
did.
That is so not the way you do that.
What do I do? I forgot. I remember getting killed here, and it made no sense the first time.
I have Clementine shooter, so I don't know. Don't ask
I
me.
wish you wouldn't have had to get this bad.
Oh,
but
that's right. I got a
it's all over,
signal
huh?
at the bottle.
Just about.
I couldn't figure out what I was supposed to be looking at there. And then she punched him, and I was like, wait a minute, that didn't happen.
I miss you so much, Tess. You're gonna like Clementine a lot, though. She's not Lizzie, but
She
she's
misses
sweet.
her smile.
She wouldn't hurt a fly.
She wouldn't hurt a fly. I love the irony of that.
You didn't. The problem was you didn't left click like as a follow up.
Yeah,
Josh.
I didn't see that.
Now there's an interesting point in this fight where I'm pretty sure like it was down to me to kill him, but I didn't want to because I mean he's damaged.
Right here,
Yeah.
this quick time event, you can stop choking him to death and let him
But,
go.
we're not gonna do that.
But it doesn't work out for you.
Yeah, I killed the bejesus out of this guy. I mean, why would you not?
I didn't
want
realize
to
that you
strangle
couldn't.
him.
I was waiting
want
for
to
like the
strangle him to
option,
death
but
in front of Clementine, and I kind of wanted to send
Yeah.
him away. All right, so take your crazy head and go.
Look, I've
but we're
shot
taking
people in
your
front of
station
Clementine.
wagon this time.
I've shot people in front of Clementine. I've stabbed people in front of Clementine. She's seen death. This is nothing new. This guy needs to go away.
Should we?
It's
shoot
true.
the
He's
str-
probably he's probably
No, save the
not
bullet.
one of. Yeah, he's probably not
So
one of
please
the
repeat,
best
we'll
people
leave
you
him.
can ever meet in the
Good.
apocalypse.
I'm sorry.
What happens if you don't kill him? What?
Clementine kills him.
It's okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Oh, okay.
It fucking like made me cry. Like you kill
Yeah.
him, like you don't kill him.
You look
He like
horrible.
wrestles you down. Clementine's seen and heard all this horrible stuff,
Let's just
and
get
she,
somewhere safe.
you know, he as the guy's on top of you
You
strangling you to
smell
death,
good.
and you're failing at your quick time event. Clementine shoots him, and it cuts back to her, and she, like her lip is trembling. She's holding the
He
gun.
hurt you.
God, it was horrible.
Not really.
It was like a
sorry,
gut punch.
Lee.
Clem, it's okay. We need to get you somewhere
That
safe.
that fight is a lot more badass looking though if Lee has one arm.
Everything's okay now. We need to figure out
It's
how to
like
get out
when
of
you
Savannah's
wrestle
after
that
we
guy to the ground and then strangle him to death with only one arm.
Yeah, interesting how your weapon turns out to be pretty much irrelevant in
I'm
the fight.
sorry you
but
had to
I guess
see that.
Yeah.
He was going to kill you.
And take you. Yeah. Which way out?
Through there.
So did you never look at the bowling bag Rutscar in here?
I didn't know.
Don't look in there.
No, I know.
And
thought
now
he was talking-
my favorite music in the entire game soundtrack is playing, which is basically a remix of the
Which way out?
Through
very
there.
first Clementine theme from the first episode.
Jesus, Josh, I already told you the way out.
We built 2 doors just to confuse people for no reason.
So this was interesting. I initially thought that the reason he didn't come to bite us was some kind of in-universe explanation for why zombies stop eating people when they've been bitten. It's like Lee is a zombie now, basically.
Bite you.
Yeah. I know it.
Nope.
Must have.
But no, it's just that he's got
Gross stuff.
zombie blood all
To
over
get
him.
through a bunch of them to get here.
That is technically an in-universe
That's how
explanation.
we'll get out of Savannah.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so now we're coming up with the Rick plan from like the second episode of the TV show. I don't know if this happened in the comic book.
It's established that their sense of smell is one of the things that attracts them to people.
Yeah,
Oh no.
but this is like specifically something that happens in the television show.
Look, you make a video game called The Walking Dead, you gotta tie it into The Walking Dead somehow, and whatever.
Scoop Walker. Yep, that's exactly the prompt. Right there.
Up the intestine. Oh
Just pretend-
God!
Just pretend it's a warm bath sponge.
Look, Robert Kirkman's gotta get his revenues somehow, and this is how he collects his money.
We'll get you cleaned up.
Rob
as soon as we
Kirkman's
can.
got to get paid.
Are you done?
A little more.
Ah, feel them intestinal juices dribbling down your butt cheeks.
Just a little
The
more.
real problem is it's not warm, it's cold. It would be cold blood from a dead corpse.
Oh, never
actually,
mind.
it would
Doesn't
be
sound
room
pleasant at all then.
Room temperature is cold when you're talking about liquids.
That should do it.
Well, we are in Savannah.
I hope so.
And you're missing
Well,
something.
Savannah during the
I thought it
post-Hunger
was
Games.
gone.
Let us, as accurately as possible, articulate how we would feel about dribbling intestine juice down our butts.
Stay right next to me.
I mean, we kind of dropped the fall angle pretty darn quickly, honestly, because it's sort of like Starved for Help was like the middle of fall and there's no game and we're hungry, and then we just sort of skipped to, I guess, spring.
Yeah, except there's still fall going on. I'd say this is probably like November, like early November, late October.
Yep, this part would have been more tense if I thought they were actually going to, like, kill off Clementine. But
Some weird camera filter going on too.
the thing that really makes this scary is how loud the zombie noises are when you're in the middle of the herd. Mostly I was just imagining how pants-shitting this would be for Clementine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ironically, this is probably one of the least tense or least scary parts of the entire game, even though you're surrounded by the most number of zombies.
Yeah, it's more creepy and unsettling than tense. You're not afraid, you're just like, oh, this is dreadful.
The depth of field stuff going on just does not work with this art style.
Oh boy.
You never played
And-
Jurassic Park, did you, Josh?
No, I didn't.
Don't play Jurassic Park, Josh. Next season on Spoiler Warning, we're gonna do Jurassic Park.
And that was Clementine's parent. She finally found them.
I like how they're still together.
Yeah.
Actually, somewhat surprised did you
Lee,
wake up from
wake
this.
up.
Yeah,
Please don't be dead.
I was almost
Please,
like,
no.
well, that's the end of the game.
Lee, I was so scared.
And I thought the idea that she
I thought
dragged
you
you
left me.
anywhere is
Yeah.
pretty laughable.
Yeah.
Lee is looking
That's just-
really, really pasty at this point.
Come here, sweet pea.
Like, he is visibly almost a zombie.
Are.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone else looks this bad when they're about to become a zombie.
As fast as we can.
Well, we can't. There's thousands of them outside.
Really?
We have to. I'll protect you.
Well, when they become a
that's
zombie, they
crazy.
look pretty bad, but...
Saved you.
And
We're safe
and
here.
why
Lock
would you
us
know
in.
this?
Get that door open.
Do you hang out around a lot of people
Do
that
it.
turn into zombies?
I
Are you?
I
An
was really more
expert on
like, I can't remember
zombification?
anyone else looking like this,
It was
and I'm
only
sure
a
at least
little open
somebody
when I
has,
found
like,
it.
been...
I closed it to keep us safe.
at some point.
Well, we haven't really seen.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, and this is interesting. We get the quick time events that you can't win. We haven't really seen any. Have we seen anyone in this series at all that's like in this game that's been bitten and then didn't immediately get killed?
See?
Not.
Clementine. Honey.
Well, Lee.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only one.
okay. Okay, fair enough. Lee's the only example, so, like, we can't actually count to that.
No, no.
The teenager we picked up from the woods,
No.
except we never really saw his face.
No, he
No.
wasn't. He wasn't bitten.
Chlamydias.
He turned.
Did you forget that conversation?
Right, but the point is he
I'm
didn't
supposed to take care of you.
go through any sort of.
I know.
I mean, he was instantly putrefied. He
Right.
didn't go through
The
this
idea
great-
is. Oh, that. Well, yeah,
Oh,
that's the.
God. This shit is hard to watch.
Are we really gonna bring that stuff up now? Can
There
we?
might be a way out over
Can
there.
we go back to what's actually happening? Wow. That zombie looks like he's just totally lounging.
Let's go.
So Clementine just gets emotionally abused by a crazy man with his wife's head in a bag after being kidnapped. Her real parents, sees her dead real parents, and then finds out that her surrogate parent is dying. This is a really terrible day to be that
You can lean on
girl.
me if you have to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially since in my
I
playthrough,
thought
she
I was
also had to
helping
kill a
by bringing
man.
you in here.
So what I love about this scene is that effectively ever since you've blacked out, the player and Lee are no longer the protagonists of this story. They are no longer active
Right.
agents, and they no longer are capable of sort of determining their own future.
Okay, I
Both
won't, I
Lee
won't.
and the player's
I won't.
future is set. It's really more about letting Clementine
almost
sort of
there.
take control for them, and sort of living for them.
Yeah. I do like that blip there. You're taking your last moments of life to teach Clem something, and,
Get up, Lee.
and it pops up.
The
Clementine
door's right
will remember
here.
that. Obviously not any gameplay value because this is obviously the end of the game.
Well, I mean, that ties into the whole thematic concept of the entire
You
game.
have
I
to.
maintain
Yeah.
the game is about parenthood
Exactly.
and about raising a child, and
Please,
it's about family in the abstract,
try to
but
get
mostly
up.
it's about parenthood. And this is really the point where that becomes apparent, where you're really letting this little girl go and, without your help, live her life, and that's really scary. Ironically, that's the most scary part of this zombie game, is letting this little girl go without you.
You need to get out of here as soon as you can.
I can't leave you.
Just work on
This
getting
is
out,
a
okay?
gut-wrenching scene. And again, I don't know how well this would work in a movie.
We'll
In a
figure it all
movie,
out.
this would feel like a shoot Shaggy Dog kind of story where it's just like, well, what was the point of that story? It was all depressing. But in this one,
We'll get
you
in
sort
there.
of feel
Don't worry.
like,
You're doing
all right,
good.
I'm gonna see this through to the end.
The
I'm
way
gonna
out's
save
through
Clem.
there, Clem.
You know, it's
I know.
cost me everything and everybody, but I'm gonna save this
Just
person.
start
And
by
you're just
getting that door
crawling
open.
these last few yards to get it done, like Frodo trying to
locked.
throw the ring in.
No big deal.
That's how this felt to
It's
me.
just a glass
And
window.
I think it just really works.
Ow.
Not with your hand.
And I don't think it would work nearly as well as a movie.
Well, yeah, it's why.
There's a baseball bat under the
I
counter.
get
Clem.
bothered
You
by
can
the
use that.
this isn't a video game because argument because the whole point here is the interactivity. It's
Bat to
not
shatter that window.
you watching
She
two
can reach
characters.
in, okay?
It's you telling Clementine that she has
Watch
to
out
go.
for broken glass.
I mean, you can relate to characters in movies to a degree, but never are you supposed to insert yourself into that character and say, I am this character now. For the duration of watching this movie.
Yeah, when somebody watches a movie, they watch Pirates of the Caribbean, and they were like, oh, and then we had to sneak onto the ship to get the drop on this guy, and we went through their treasure trove, and I was trying to sneak around. I didn't want them to know I was there. Nobody ever does that. They always, most of the time, they say Johnny Depp did it, because we never bothered to learn characters.
Right.
But when you describe a video game, you usually say, I did it. I did.
Yeah, in this instance, it's not Lee telling Clementine, it's you are Lee. You have become Lee.
Open it.
Just in time to drop dead.
Well, I mean, that's the whole point of a video game. It's supposed to be
He's got keys. Probably to that
immersive. It's supposed to
everything you'll need.
put you into the character's shoes. That's my measure of a successful player character in a video game.
How many video games have your character die at the end as the resolution of the story? No, I mean, I'm actually curious. I can't think of any.
Final Fantasy VII.
There
Not
are
7,
quite a few
10. Whatever one had Titus.
Titus, that was 10.
Wait, let's now spoiler everything.
Yeah.
So we can use the handcuffs here to stick us to the radiator, but I thought it was
Do
worth
it.
to use them on the walker.
Yeah.
Do it to you. I did it to me. I didn't want to. I didn't want to be responsible for the death of Clementine because I turned.
Yeah.
Also because the other walker is pretty much clearly stuck.
Okay.
Put the handcuffs on me. Attach me to this.
Although,
I mean, you can do what you want, but that's what I did.
Well, I mean, what I did was I was like 100% don't waste anything on me.
I don't
Also,
want to do this.
another one-handed animation because technically you're only tying up one arm.
Yeah.
So if you're following at home, take a shot.
Get real drunk while we're doing it.
Get what you need from him.
you're probably
And then
going to
cry.
And then the gun.
The keys and the gun. Just don't be afraid.
Fill that booze bottle up with your tears once you've drunk.
You're faster than he
Didn't
is.
we have a gun at some point? Did we not pick
And
it
then
up?
mail those to me because I drink those for recreation.
You're so close.
Yeah, you got Steve Buscemi's gun, but I don't know if you brought it with you.
I'll try.
You shot the one bullet left in the zombie that was attacking you, and then used that zombie's guts to mask your sin.
Grab it!
Worst zombie ever.
Get him! Watch out!
Yeah, this was hard to watch. Oh shit! Oh, nope! Denied.
I love this when she zonks him to death, and it's these tiny little bonks on the head. I mean, it actually made me chuckle just because it was... It wasn't like when adult bash. This was not an appropriate time to be laughing.
Did it. I got him.
But for some reason, I just thought it was,
You can take care
it
of
was
yourself.
amusing that she was like,
No.
oh wow,
Not all the
okay, I just
time.
caught up and it's much bloodier than I remember.
Don't worry.
I remembered it as being these sort of donks on the head. These bloodless donks on the head. I don't know if they changed it or if I blocked out that memory, but I recant. That was nasty. A majority of the players
You're
made
strong.
Clementine shoot Lee. I would love to
Could do
know
anything.
why.
But I'm little.
Doesn't mean nothing.
I had her do it because I didn't want her to have to shoot me later. It's one thing to have her shoot me as a kind, caring father figure. It's another where I am a hostile, angry, evil presence in her life, and she is horrified of shooting
way
me.
easier to shoot that?
I told her to get the hell out of Dodge, so I didn't figure
That's what I did.
she'd ever see me again regardless.
Please don't become.
Yeah, I'm handcuffed to the... Just don't ever come near this radiator and you'll never have to worry about me, because I'm not going anywhere.
I mean, I wasn't handcuffed to the radiator, but I told her to, like, get the fuck out of Savannah. So, you want to go for the least common option?
Least common. Leave.
Leave me. It's okay.
You'll be just like them.
It's okay. It won't be me.
Please.
Clem, it's time to go. You gotta get out of here.
This is heartbreaking.
You can come with me.
No, honey. I can't. It's okay.
I love the upcoming fourth wall. Not fourth wall breaking, but the whole she will remember that stuff from the very
Maybe I
end.
shouldn't let you turn.
Yeah.
I don't want you to have to do that. Shooting things. It changes you, sweetie. I don't want you to get used to it. Pulling the trigger.
Last thing I said was the
into
noise.
life, Clem.
Because I wanted to leave her
I
with
said it's
words
So
of wisdom.
lose something every time. The first time, the most. Don't do it unless you absolutely have to.
That also seemed a little patronizing in my playthrough because she
I'll
actually
leave you.
had just killed
I'll
somebody.
go as fast as
Oh,
I
yeah.
can.
And as safe as you can.
Oh yeah, shooting people like you just did, that changes you and it makes you a horrible person that nobody will ever love.
Find Omid and Krista. They're outside
Oh
of town.
god.
By the train.
Ugh.
Remember how to get back there?
Yes.
Good. I'll take good care of you.
So go find a meet in Crystal. Like, why couldn't this decision stick? You can tell her to look, to go out on your own or find a mead. Go find Kenny.
Keep that hair short.
I will. I'll cut it myself.
Great. Good.
Stay away from
I-
cities was my advice.
Yeah, basically do the opposite of every obviously stupid thing this group has done. Don't follow Larry and
This
Lily.
group was your tutorial for the zombie apocalypse.
No, don't worry.
We
And we're
put
sort
the
of-
evil people in charge, and then we put the moron crazy people in charge, and then we went to the big city in search of stuff that wasn't there.
We're sort of breaking immersion with Lee here, where he's fading in and out, and as sort of observers, we're not. But I think it works
Yeah.
overall. It is weird. We are slowly at this point transitioning over to Clem almost as a protagonist, and I don't want to say
Yeah.
that she's going to be the protagonist of the second season or whatever, but
I hope
it's
not.
clear that like Lee is dying, and as players, while we're still sort of in control of Lee and what he says, we're moving towards Clem. We are following her
Yeah.
sense of awareness, and towards
Yeah.
the end, post the credits, we see what she sees.
Yeah, the camera's following her now, and not us.
I actually kind of like the idea of playing Clementine the next season.
It would give you an excuse why you don't just badass your way through the apocalypse. Well, let's just hack our way through these zombies. I mean, you're a little kid, but then you know what? I don't want to play a game where I'm just constantly being menaced by assholes.
Well, that, and also there's the element of, if you're playing Clementine, you're playing a naive little girl, even if she's world-weary and has been taught by Lee.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to be like, oh, Clementine stumbles upon a group of survivors, and then instantly starts metagaming how she can survive.
Yeah.
Okay. On another note, that long blackness there was... Oh, man. That was really effective.
That
So-
was an incredibly powerful scene, and this was an incredibly important game. It may have its flaws, and it may not have done everything right, but I think that of the games that have been released recently, this is perhaps the most momentous achievement that we've seen.
This is the second time I've seen that
and
scene.
video game writing.
We were talking and joking over it. I'm actually a little misty.
I was
I
talking and joking
silence here.
over it because otherwise I would have just stopped talking altogether and we would just be running the footage of the game.
And now we get to see all our choices.
And not all of these, like, you get to the end and, like, some of this stuff you had no input, no effect on this person,
Yeah.
no effect on their outcome.
Note that Chuck is not even in the list.
Oh, the last thing for Duck is you let him be your sidekick, solve a mystery. And not, I
then
shot
right
him in
here.
the fucking head! Oh, this song, man! God, this song, after it put one in your chest, this song was the Mozambique drill to the head. God damn.
But it's after not only the closing of the story, but after that moment of reflection about every decision you've made throughout the game. And I think that makes it all the more poignant.
So, it is a video game, and it is a very good video game. And I can't really stop myself from just gushing about how incredible this game is. I mean, especially at the end there. I mean, every complaint that we've had just seems kind of hollow.
It does, because the last scene really pays off emotionally. And yeah, it's excellent. It's unimpeachable. And now I'm curious, have other why is this so much better than the writing in other games? Is it the format? Is it that cutscene, gameplay cutscene formula that's been gimping stories? Is it that nobody cared enough to write something like this?
I reject that premise. Imagine if the writers of Gears of War did this game. Or something.
Right, I think it is very much that someone finally figured out that video games are not supposed to be written as movies. That this is a video game that treats itself as a game, as a piece of interactive fiction. There's this whole idea that Lee is an agent in the story that can be manipulated, that can affect change in the story, that not everything is simply the writer dictating what happened.
Honestly,
I mean, a lot of those choices are false choices in the end, but the fact that it frames them as choices that you can make constantly and you never know quite which ones are false and which ones aren't is important. It gives this verisimilitude to how you're making these choices.
The understated approach, the little moments, it's very important.
Yeah.
If you watched us play through this game without playing it through it yourself, you just robbed yourself.
Really, you did.
Frankly, here's a way for you to drive yourself crazy with frustration just thinking about it, Seamus. Imagine if Bethesda had done this game.
You're not a mercenary. Alright, now here's the post-credits scene. This is where I was angry and frustrated. That everybody gets the exact same cutscene, and everybody gets.
I'm really irritated by this scene because it's blatant sequel bait.
Yes,
I mean, I wanted to see a proper resolution for Clementine, and you don't get that. And
on the one hand, everything you're saying is right.
Robbed.
But on the other hand, it was more footage of the video game, and that's the only thing I wanted at that very moment.
Don't give us sequel bait, at the same time not bothering to acknowledge or fulfill any of the choices that you pretended to offer us. That's just obnoxious. all those choices that you made, go find Omega and Krista, yeah, we're going to pretend you didn't say any of that.
Yeah, and I mean, like...
But then we'll throw in this scene for no reason.
Like, who is that over there? Is that someone we've never met? Are there walkers? Are they Omid and Krista?
And this was frustrating because I didn't need... I just wanted some of your choices to be acknowledged here. In her behavior, in what gear she had, in who she was with. No new dialogue needed. Nothing fancy, just some acknowledgement that every single person that plays this video game doesn't end up with that same scene at the end. Having said that, it's an incredible game.
It's I think, of all the games that we've done for Spoiler Warning, including Half-Life 2, I think this is my favorite.
I can get behind
that. I think it's probably the heaviest game I've ever played.
Oh, yeah.
I think the power rests in the fact that when it knows when to be cinematic and it knows when to be ludic. It knows when to use cinematography, it knows when to use things, mise-en-scène and things happening on the screen, and it also knows when to use choice and when to break the fourth wall and use GUIs and user interface to give an emotional resonance. It doesn't say, Clementine will remember that because it's funny. It does that because that's an emotionally resonant scene at the very end. And so that's what I think really marks The Walking Dead as sort of a seminal work.
There's this marriage between gameplay and story and dialogue and even the user interface.
And it really combines together to really tell a wonderful story that is about a really human experience. I mean, Mass Effect was dude bro or dude chick saving the universe. This is about a man raising a foster daughter and all that entails. And it's about family in the abstract.
And
you can include things like...
in a terrible environment full of tragedy and the constant fear of death.
Yeah. It's more powerful. Saving this one child is 1,000 times more emotionally potent than saving the universe.
Ultimate MacGuffin.
But guys, a kid didn't die. Actually, that's not true. A bunch of kids died. But
The kid didn't die.
A kid didn't die, and a kid will never die again. On that note, join us next season for Heavy Rain. No, just kidding. We can't play PS3 games. Don't ask us to play console games, guys.
And God, even if we could, Heavy Rain. You'd have to be crazy to believe that.
Also, even if we could, we wouldn't. So we can't do console games. Don't ask us to. So join us next season. We'll be playing Angry Birds.